da 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 la la la. Hi, it's Kristen. How are you doing? I am good, if a little confused. I came up with a plan, or maybe she did, or maybe I came up with it when I was something closer to what she is. The truth is, I think she might be gone. No, that's not true. She's just different from what she once was. There was a time when she was a narrator who really knew a lot. She was confident and centered, and despite being a changing and monstrous and ephemeral and bodiless thing, she was grounded, much more than I am. She knew about things like calm and chaos and unity and truth. I understand nothing of these things, though I have sometimes found myself chasing them like a dog on a racetrack, over and over, growing more and more tired the older I get, until one day I fear my race will be finally run, and I will realize I've just been going in a circle. Now the problem is, if I can be perfectly blunt, Kristen doesn't believe right now. And the narrator has been blended into Kristen so thoroughly at this point that she cannot access belief either. We need to create a story called The Painful and the Ecstatic, because that was the plan. But Kristen has trouble accessing the latter right now. At least not in the way that we used to. Perhaps she can do it in the wrong way. But indeed, is there even such a thing? I used to feel I could find that ecstasy in the purest way there was. But now there is only Enough about me. Let's talk about you. A few times now I have brought up sleep paralysis, and I do apologize for that, for I do not desire to bring that curse onto you by the mere mention of it, but I do think it's important because it's something that I fear, as it's something that I endure occasionally. And I don't want to be afraid. I told you about one semi-fictional and semi-real occurrence where she, me, that is our narrator, came to me night after night, approaching closer and closer, while I could not move. Day after day, going to work, going home, going to work, going home, going to work, going home. Rarely any allowance for friends or fun or lightness. Only the occasional sunset on the walk home from work, and then invariably the silhouette in the door frame of my bedroom as I slept. Growing closer and closer each night. Closer and closer, while I could not move. Day after day, going to work, going home, going to work, going home, only now driving, still trying to see just a little bit of that sunset, here and there, or the stars or the moon, if it's not too dangerous to look at them while I'm on the highway. Anyway, that wasn't in the script, sorry. That silhouette in the doorframe of my bedroom as I slept. Let's get back on track. Growing closer and closer each night, closer and closer, while I could not move. Have you had something similar? I have seen eyes, ice blue, hiding under furniture. I have seen shadowed figures looming over my bed. Most recently, I have seen dreadful, most dreadful night terror it was. A figure in my bed, wrapped up in my sheets. I thought it was just the way the sheets were all bundled up. But when I went to touch them, which I'm not sure if I did in a dream or in my waking reality, semi-waking reality anyway, it was unmistakably a human head that I touched. A hard skull attached to a body that began to lean up. I screamed and screamed and screamed until I woke up, and it was gone. Maybe the worst part was I screamed and I woke myself up because there was no one there to wake me up. But enough about me. We were talking about you. Have you had similar night terrors? Have you been asleep only to wake up and see your room perfectly as it was, exactly realistic, except for the one dark thing that ought not be there? One creature, perhaps humanoid, perhaps not, with its eyes on you. Whether you could see those eyes or not is inconsequential. You know they are watching you. You just know. And that's why, for some reason, you cannot move at all. They have fixed their gaze on you. And that has fixed you in place, in bed, unable to move, unable to open your mouth, yet still trying to scream, as you hear strange and incoherent babbling. Perhaps one night it is just outside of your room. Eerie, but not too bad, not yet, not just yet. Perhaps the next night it is just a little more audible. Are they in your room? Are they with you now? Whispering it in the shadow. Perhaps the next night it is only a few feet away, growing a little louder. What are they saying? Why can't you understand it? Perhaps the next night it is coming from under your bed, just under where your head is resting. Is it a threat? Do they mean you harm? What can they possibly want from you? Why will they not go away? Perhaps the next night it is being whispered directly in your ear. So many sleepless nights, but not tossing and turning, no, just staying perfectly still, while this creature, this spirit, this thing exerts its terrible will, whatever that may be, for certainly its mutterings are a spell, some kind of ancient magic they are working on you. I know that's what my sleep paralysis demon is doing to me, now I think about it. Working some magic, something strong, something powerful, something that feels both painful and, oh, I'm sorry, but I have to say it, painful and ecstatic. And is it only dark magic that can do that? Isn't it? Only dark and decadent and selfish and desirous magic, wicked and vile. Isn't that why it feels good? I'm sorry. This is about you. And what your sleep paralysis demon is working on you. What mutterings, what babblings, what magics is it performing on you? I don't know. I don't know what mine is doing. I only imagine it is the cause of this terrible guilt and shame. Sometimes there is joy and pleasure, but then it is quickly followed by guilt and shame. That must be the spell, mustn't it? Suddenly, I can't move. I am sleeping too, just like you. There is a silhouette in my door. I try to leap up, but I cannot. Of course I cannot. I will surrender immediately. Even as it drops rapidly to the floor and slithers under my bed, I will stop fighting this immobility. I will stay still and relax, because there is nothing else I can do to counter this spell. I see icy blue eyes slither out from under the bed to move beside me, lean over me. I cannot tell if it is her, or him, or both. But what I can tell, suddenly, blessedly, is what they are saying. Finally, the babbling, the muttering, the incoherent spell work. It comes to light. It becomes clear. I know the magic they are attempting. Finally. Don't be afraid. You are not alone. You are safe. You are loved. You are important. Don't be afraid. You are never alone. You deserve to be safe. You are worthy of love. You are allowed to feel important. Don't be afraid. I'm here. You're not alone. You are safe. You are loved. You are important. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. That is what I wanted you to say. Even among all the fear and the sorrow and the frustration and everything you've brought me. The lurking in my periphery, the hiding in my shadows. I only wished for this. To hear these words from you, beloved. Frighten me all you like. It's all fun and games. But please don't let me forget these words. But this is about you, my friends. And me. These words are for us. Don't be afraid. I'm here. You're not alone. You are safe. You are loved. You are important. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Remember them. Release that which you do not need. Guilt, shame, fear, if you can. It is a hard life's work, but work that I know I must return to anyway. And if your sleep paralysis demon comes around again, as mine always does and always will, try to remember. This might just be the magic they are working. And it is a good magic to surrender to. Sweet dreams. La 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 la. Hello friends, and thank you so much for joining me for episode 295 of On a Dark, Cold Night. This is Kristen, your writer, narrator, host, composer, podcaster, sleep paralysis demon, etc. I hope that wherever you are and whoever you are, you're safe and doing well, and hopefully resting well, too. Thank you so much to everyone who supports the show on a monthly basis via Patreon. I'm very grateful to all of you, my friends. Every supporter on Patreon who pledges $1 or more a month US receives access to my complete downloadable soundtrack, and every supporter of $5 or more a month US gets that, an extra long bonus episode every new moon, a tarot reading video uploaded every full moon, and access to 70 mini meditation episodes. To learn more, visit patreon.com/darkcoldnight. You can donate one time only without any perks at ko-fi.com/darkcoldnight, or buy a t-shirt or hoodie at bonfire.com/on-a-dark-cold-night. You can also buy a collection of my favorite stories from the show in paperback or Kindle ebook through Amazon. It's called On a Dark Cold Night, Tales of Loneliness, Creation, and Love. Please do check it out. Leave me a rating and or review wherever you can, especially Spotify and iTunes. Follow me on social media on Instagram at Dark Cold Night Podcast, Facebook and YouTube under On a Dark Cold Night, Blue Sky, and TikTok, at Kristen Zaza. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your patience. I do believe, I do care. I am here. I am trying not to be afraid. I am trying to not lose myself, not to forget the feeling that comes with accessing the place in this podcast that I believe takes me beyond my little drama and into a greater sense of what we can be, what the world can be, what we truly are deep down. I'm trying not to lose that. I'm trying to find it again. Maybe you can help me. Maybe we can help each other with it. I think there's something important here. I think the episode isn't done until it is done. And I think it won't be done until I believe the words and share the words with you. A spell. A spell, is that what it is? Or is it just indulgence in something so needed and desired? Either way, does it have to be bad, or silly, or selfish? No. So let's work it one more time. I think there's something important here. Don't be afraid. You are not alone. You are safe. You are loved. You are important. Don't be afraid. You are never alone. You deserve to be safe. You are worthy of love. You are allowed to feel important. Don't be afraid. I'm here. You're not alone. You are safe. You are loved. You are important. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network. Sonar.